avoiding relegation, and welcome to episode 1 of the Halifax Wanderers REDUX save. If you didn't already do it, go look at the news that's up on my YouTube channel. It explains exactly what's going on. Basically, due to, I guess, a slight issue, for want of a better phrase. I can't call it a bug, per se, but basically the wage cap that's set for the Canadian Premier League in the vanilla Football Manager, it's stuck there. It doesn't change no matter what. So obviously my long-term plan of, making the Canadian Premier League bigger than the MLS would not be possible, because obviously you wouldn't be able to track the players. And there are one or two other elements that are slightly frustrating with that. However, we are using the Canadian Premier League Megapatch. Link in the description below. Please do check it out. I obviously talked about it a little bit in the channel news as well. And as a result, I've started a new Halifax Wanderers save, again with the same intention of making them the biggest club in Canada and making Canada bigger than the MLS. So it is a long-term save. It is going to be purely on YouTube. Not going back to streaming this one. Obviously, the first one was streamed, but this will be YouTube only. And basically, this first episode, we've already completed the first season, which was the Island Games. So we're actually going to go in and do a review of that and see how we got on. So, as you can see, much like we did in the first save, we actually finished top of the Canadian Premier League for the Island Games first stage. 19 points. Where are we? Sorry. Played 7, won 6, drew 1. The drew 1 was against Valor, but all the others, we did very well. In fact, we didn't concede that many goals apart from the the 6-4 away game against FC Edmonton, which was an absolute thriller, no question about it. But like I say, we finished top, which was fantastic in the first stage. Obviously, qualifying for the second group stage, we finished top of that too. Played 3, won 2, drawn 1. We beat both Edmonton and Valor, and we drew with Forge. So that's how we went through to the group stage, which led us up to the championship final, which we won against Forge FC. Obviously, this changed. This didn't change. This is still only a single leg as opposed to the double legs for the finals we've had in subsequent seasons in the first save. Get there in the end. So what that meant is we're basically champions of the Canadian Premiership. So what that then took us to is we also qualified for the final of the Canadian Championship. Now, the Canadian Championship historically has been the only route for Canadian Premiership teams over the 2 seasons to actually get into the CONCACAF Champions League, the North American Champions League. Anyway, like I say, that's changed slightly because we can get in there now through the Canadian Premier League as per changes in the upcoming competition. But as far as this one is concerned, like I say, just went into the Canadian Championship at the final stage. Obviously not needed qualifying due to winning the Canadian Premier League. And we faced off against Toronto FC. Now, I didn't expect to do very well, but honestly, we were absolutely incredible. We beat them 5-0. Toronto, bearing in mind, are an MLS team, and little Halifax, well, we smashed them across the board. Well, I say smashed them. Our passes completed were even, but I mean, 4 goals from Olivia and 1 from Bustos. Playing the narrow 4-4-3. No, 4-3-3. Even there's no 4-4-3. The 4-3-3, the narrow 4-3-3 that I'd have been playing as of Season 4 in the original save. I've literally brought the tactic across, started again, and obviously made the new signings. But yeah, 5-0 in a Canadian Championship final. So that qualified us for the Champions League for the second season. So we'll have a look and see how that went in just a minute. Okay, so if we have a look at the team report, as you can see, this is our first 11. There are a few players I brought in. I will go into the transfers in a minute, but as you can see, we're looking pretty solid across the board. There's a few names in there you will probably already recognise, and a few that you may or may not. Like I say, we've signed a couple of players we did last time, and we've also signed some players that we could not sign last time as well. So it's been kind of interesting, and like I say, even though this is a new save with the same club after having done 4 seasons with them, I'm surprisingly invested in it. That's the only reason why I'm talking about it, because I played through the Island Games, and like I say, I was hooked yet again. And like I say, I've obviously been able to not make some of the mistakes I made last time as well, which is fantastic. So that's our first 11. I haven't mucked around too much with squad depth, but as you can see, we're not looking too bad across all areas of the squad. Darwin, Olivia, He was actually with us the first season as well. I brought him in on a free. I was about to say young Honduran. He's younger than me. He's 32. I'm about to turn. Well, I just turned 46 at the point you've seen this. So yeah, he is young, definitely compared to me. But he had an absolutely stunning first season. I will show you. 12 goals in 11 appearances with 2 assists and 5 player of the matches, 7.45 average rating. Coming in from Guatemala, as I say, he's a Honduran. Just been brilliant. This guy came in to start this season. Jair Cordova. He is obviously playing as a striker mostly, but as you can see, he's pretty good. He's got actually some decent skills, penalty taking and finishing. But as I say, he only came in at the start of this season, and thus far... Oh no, he came in 2020. I tell a lie. He did play 7 games and only got 2 goals. So as you can see, not quite as good, even though he looks better than Darwin Oliver. And obviously, Akeem Garcia is still here. He did, I think, reasonably well in the Island Games, managing 8 goals in 10 starts with 2 assists and 2 player of the matches, and average rating of 7.29. So we're hoping he can do quite well this season. Obviously, you'll remember Marco Bustos. We signed him in the last save. Managed to get him pretty much straight away when we joined. We paid for him 41 grand, but we did have the money in the bank. And he made 10 appearances, scored 2 goals, and managed 3 assists, and average rating of 6.94. So in some ways, not quite as superb as he was in the first save, but I still believe he's going to be a very strong player for us. So below him, Alessandro Rigi. Remember how I kept calling him Riggy? It's Rigi. I've been saying it wrong all this time. Fortunately, somebody put me right on stream, so now that obviously I let him go, he wasn't with the club in the other side, but here he is back again, Alessandro Rigi, club captain currently as well. Didn't do too badly last season, but he didn't play a massive amount. 5 starts, 1 assist, average rate 6.98. Now, bearing in mind that Riggy does like to play as a winger, you'll note that he has been playing central attacking midfield as a shadow striker. But he's also been playing as a Mazzala. And one thing I've discovered is that AMRs will play pretty decent in the Mazzala role in central midfield, even though it says they're awkward and all the rest of it. But, he's done well at it. 6.9, 7.4, 7.1, 7.2. Do you know what I mean? He's doing very, very well, even though he complains about being trained for that position. So I stopped training him for that position, and I just play him there. And like I say, when we need to play him, he does a great job. So pretty happy with that, to be honest with you. Central midfield, we got Alex Marshall. He is, of course, still with the club, actually, in the original save after sort of 4 seasons, but he's pretty much our star player. Jamaican, only 23 years old. Again, should be a winger or an AMC, and he has been playing AMC. But again, plays perfectly fine as a Mazzala in central midfield. So, he's actually had a bit of a dip there, which we'll have words with him about later. So, yeah, that's good. This guy's new. You don't know him. He's Mexican. He's coming as Ivan Ochoa, central midfielder. Again, coming as a Mazzala. And he only came in, I think, at the start of this season. Yes, he did, for 98k. And, I fancy our chances of him being decent. He got very good passing, decent first touch. I mean, his mentals aren't bad. None of his attributes aren't bad. But like I say, this passing is top notch. So looking to see plenty out of him. Obviously, I am trying to develop them. You'll notice most of these players have no player traits, and I have been trying to give them the right ones. Like, for example, with that passing, tries killer balls off him, because honestly, he could be a superb creative outlet if he realises potential. We got Louis Belangoyet in the original save. He didn't last beyond the first season, but he actually had a good first season with us. 11 games, 2 goals, 3 assists, average rating of 7.23, so that is why he's still here. Again, central midfield, playing as a Mazzala, and he's not done too bad. The obligatory dip, which also seems to happen across the board at the moment in terms of training and stuff like that, but that's how it is. Moving down to defensive midfield, you will recognise Abubakar Sissoko. He was obviously with us in the original save and is still here now. He didn't have a bad first season at all. 11 appearances, 2 assists, average rating of 7.23. And he's continuing on now. Again, doing some development. He dictates the tempo. and he's currently working on looking for the pass rather than attempting to score, because he can't shoot, unfortunately. But obviously, he stayed with us up until the 4th season in the original save. Behind him is a new signing, that's Juan Palma. And I say behind him and a new signing. He is basically a backup player, purely. That's what we brought him in for. He came in from Titan. He's Salvadorian, he's 35 years old, and he's got one or two good standout attributes. His heading and his tackling are just incredible. His positioning's good. His determination and aggression are good. Hasn't kicked a ball for us yet, though. That's the only thing. And as you can see, he's a little bit weak on the physicals. But like I say, he's a backup player. And, we haven't actually played him at all since he joined us, I don't think. So, as you can see, last season for for Titan in El Salvador, he played 23 games, has scored 1 goal, got 1 assist, and average rating 6.93. So, like I say, he's there as a backup, but I haven't actually used him yet. So, moving back to defence, one of the players we brought in on loan, which was quite an interesting one, is Marcel De Jong. He is a experienced Canadian international. We brought him in on loan from Pacific, whom he joined from Vancouver on a free. He was mostly brought in, more than anything else, A, for his experience and obviously his tremendous mental skills, but also because of his free kick taking and his corner ability. I mean, that's pretty stunning. I found a free kick taker with 15 in the previous days, but, to have a proper corner taker is good. Obviously, heading towards the end of his career, unfortunately, so I'm not sure how long he'll be around, but as I say, we brought him in at the start of this season, but he did manage 7 games for Pacific last year, get an average rating of 6.63 so far this season for us, 4 games with an average rating of 7.07. But again, part of the reason for bringing him in was qualifying for the Champions League and really to have more experienced players in there. Kinumbe, you'll remember, he was sort of a youngish left back. He's still here. He's been doing all right, but he is the backup. It's safe to say. Central defence. Whoops. There we go. Let's make some of this here. Oh, it's Jeff Luke Green. Okay, so Luke Green we're going to go with first. He was actually a new addition as part of the patch, and he's a development player. And he has made some improvements. We didn't get him out on loan, unfortunately, but we're looking to do that this season, possibly even play him in a couple of matches. I don't think he got many appearances. He got 1 appearance and managed a 6.7 last season. So he has a future, definitely. We've just got to obviously take the time to develop him. Jeffrard, you remember, Ems Jeffrard, he's part of the original squad. He has stayed for a 2nd season now. We've got him up from loan, mostly because he didn't play a lot. He is capable of playing defensive midfield, and he's very much capable of playing centre half. So he's still here, full squad depth at the moment. We also have Eric Santos. He played with us first season, but he now is out on loan at the moment with Oldham Athletic. He's with Oldham Athletic, and I think he's actually doing all right for them. Not being funny, yeah. 3 appearances with 2 goals and 1 assist. Average rating 7.40. He didn't manage that for us, but for Oldham, he's been stunning. So, of all the clubs in all the world, he went to Oldham. That's brilliant. So anyway, he's done well for them. Like I say, he didn't have a bad first season for us, but he is pretty much out of contention at the moment. He is not a first-choice defender. We did bring in another defender. This is Amar Didic. He is a Canadian. He came in on a free from Edmonton, having obviously played last season for them in the Island Games. He managed 10 starts, 1 goal, an average rating of 6.79. And, he's been pretty solid, I have to say. In his time with us, he's managed 2 starts, 1 sub-appearance, and managed a goal. Average rating of 7.1. So that's not bad. But like I say, he is a half-decent centre-half, and he is Canadian, which is, of course, very, very important. Roberts, Malan Roberts, he's a new one you won't recognise. He actually came in the first season. As you can see, he's been having a bit of a decline, bless him. So I'll have to yell at him about his training. But he didn't actually do bad for us. As I say, came in on a free, managed 11 appearances, basically played all of them. 1 player of the match and got an average rating of 7.08, which actually isn't bad. It's not bad at all. So, and I'm pretty sure he played in the Canadian Championship final. So despite his lack of skills, should we say, he does have good physicals and not awful mentals, I guess, in certain areas. The bravery is good. determination's okay. You know what I mean? He's a squad player now, but like I say, he put in a decent performance for the first season. Moving on, almost to the end, we've got the other central defender that we recently signed. He's actually a Colombian. As you can see from star rating, he looks pretty good, but he's got decent enough physicals, decent mentals, and decent technical attributes. Now, they're not super standout, but they're decent. And as I say, I'm hoping that he will be a decent and reliable player. Came in on a free, was at Celaya in Mexico. And as you can see, 19 games, 2 assists, 1 player in match, 6.92 average rating. I think he will do better for us overall. But yeah, quite excited to get him involved. And then moving to right back, another experienced player we brought in actually at the very start in time for the Canadian Premier. Oh no, he didn't. He came in, sorry, at the end of the season. I apologise, and thus hasn't actually technically registered any performances from last season. But yeah, he again, an experienced player. Lots of international experience, a fullback and a centre half should we need him. Decent mentals, fairly decent physicals, not amazing in the technical department, but again, a solid player. I mean, he's managed 4 starts and got an average rating of 7.05 thus far this season. So, like I say, brought in for his experience, and bearing in mind we're in the Champions League, I wanted that nice spread. So, quite happy with him. He's done all right. So, behind him, we have another player we brought in, another older, experienced Canadian international, Nana Atakora. Nana Atakora. Centre half and right back also, as you can see, 3 stars. Decent enough physicals, decent enough mentals, and decent enough technicals. He is obviously playing up to his ability at the moment, and so far he's only managed 1 appearance for us. He did actually get injured earlier on, but he was at Oakland Roots, having joined them from Ottawa prior to that. So we brought him on a free. As I say, 1 game, 7.1 average rating. So he's more for squad depth than anything else. But like I say, here for his experience. And then, of course, last but not least is Jake Ruby, the right back. He didn't stay in the first, after the second season, I think, in the original save. He may still stay a little bit longer, but trying to get him to develop has been difficult. He did play a couple of games, two games, 1 assist, 7.1 average rating in the Island games. So he has some potential. Certainly in the last save, the failed save, he moved to another club and did well enough for them, but didn't necessarily develop up to his full potential. So hopefully we're going to do that this time. Last but not least, we have goalkeepers. Bewley has left after his first season now. Again, in the standard save, he's retiring because he is giving up football to pursue a career in engineering, and fair enough to him. But in the Canadian Megapatch, that hasn't happened, so I could have kept him on if I wanted to. We kept Ox as the backup. He didn't actually play for us at all last season. Oh no, I tell a lie, sorry, he got 4 appearances when Bewley got injured. Is that right? It's not showing his rating, which I find weird. Not sure what happened there, but anyway, like I say, he didn't play much. But if you remember, if you followed me on stream, in fairness, this wouldn't have appeared in YouTube. Marco Caducci, we actually signed him from Cavalry on a free, which was, from my point of view, an absolute fantastic coup. Missed out on him in the original save. He went actually out to China for the big money. But this time we've got him here. And like I say, he came in at the start of the season. He's made 4 appearances and conceded 5 thus far, so that's okay. It's okay. But yeah, so he is a player that I wanted to sign previously, and we now have him in the Halifax squad. So that is basically it. That is basically our lineup. We've obviously not had our first youth recruitment yet. That will happen in September of this season, so I will cover that in the next episode. But as far as the squad stands, that's how everything stands. Okay, so as previously mentioned, the Canadian Premier League season is now 1 season instead of a spring and fall split. And it doesn't start until the 4th of April. 3rd of April. We're actually at the 1st of April still. We do have... Sorry, I say it starts on the 10th of April. My apologies. We still have a friendly against Valley United, which will be a nice, easy one before the start of the season. As you can see, pre-season was good. Obviously, you saw how we did in the Champions League. I fancy our chances, obviously, of winning the Canadian Premier League again. I fancy my chances of doing all right in the Canadian Championship as well. Obviously, we've qualified for it and qualified for the qualifying round against Forge, I guess. I would have thought as winners we would have had a bye until the quarter, but I might be wrong about that, clearly. So yeah, we're in the Championship, Canadian Championship, which will be against Forge FC. Hopefully we will qualify for next year's Champions League, if we haven't already, actually, thinking about it, because we did qualify for this one by winning the Canadian Championship last year, and we did win the Canadian Premier League, which I believe... There we go. That's actually for this season and not next season yet. So maybe I haven't qualified yet, but this is where we stand anyway. Canadian Premier League, Champions League already done, and Championship still to do. I'm not sure, but I think we've also got CONCACAF League in there as well, which would be North American League previously. So we'll see. It hasn't appeared in the competitions yet, so I'm not 100% sure. Like I say, 1 or 2 changes with the Megapatch, meaning we might be just going straight into Champions League next season already, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay, that's everything for this episode. Please do give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And don't forget to check out the links below to subscribe on Twitch and also follow me on the gram as well. I'm in all these places. And if you haven't already, please do follow me on Twitter, because that is the #1 place to get news and updates about what's going on with the channel and, when I'm going live on Twitch and all that good stuff. So, in the meantime, I've been avoiding relegation. Thank you very much for watching and have a fantastic week.